At this time, I'll call the February 24th, 2022 meeting to order for the Dixon County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item we have next here is the approval of the agenda, and there are no additions or changes to the agenda, so I move that we approve it as printed.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and second. Is there any discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the February 17th meeting. Also expenditures of $409,605.17, an SD security wire of $3,760, a hand check of $20.26, abatements of $24.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
We have the motion and second for approval of the consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Commission comments, Ron.
I did enjoy last Thursday attending the soil conservation annual meeting. They did a wonderful job. Good presentation of what they were doing and presented some awards. Also yesterday, spent a little time with the steering committee and Janelle and Tim. Those guys did a really good job of conducting those meetings. And I think we're down to one more meeting in July to finish up with that, and then look forward to the retirement ceremony come Monday.
Okay, thank you. Craig.
Yeah, I missed last week. I was in the Capitol for County Day at the Capitol with the KCA put on. They had approximately 20 booths there. 4 of the counties had their own booths. Clerks, registered deeds, treasurer, noxious weed, county counselors, just a wide variety of people that interact with county government were there. KCCA, Kansas County Commissioners Association, is going to be the last of April in Salina. We don't have the exact dates yet. We'll be zooming in today for the North Central Regional Planning Commission. And then I also attended the soil conservation dinner in the bar. That's all I had then.
Okay, thank you. We did have our board meeting for Central Kansas Mental Health. We have a new director that's come on, and so that's exciting. It's a very smooth transition. The executive director, Kathy Mosier, that we have has stayed on for a few weeks during this transition, so it's a smooth handoff there. Earlier this morning, I attended the Military Affairs Council breakfast over at Junction City. As we did the Pledge of Allegiance and the importance of our nation and the patriotism that we have, and then you look at the world news right now and what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine. One thing that Senator Moran was there, and actually he was able to get up there and spoke to the group, even though we had another program lined up. But there were, probably 120 or so in attendance, and he mentioned that formally that his first remarks was that to condemn what Putin has done with the invasion. It wasn't provoked. It's an aggression on his part, and how disturbing that is for Europe, but around the world. But also emphasize the importance and the need that we need to be a united country. And this is a time that we're better when we're united and we're stronger. And, who knows where this is going to lead, this provocation and invasion, how it's going to affect the world. The other item that we had there, actually the planned program, was a wounded warrior. And the director of Wounded Warriors, who actually in combat at Afghanistan lost an arm, lost a leg, and so on. And he's the national director, and he spoke, and very inspirational. showed pictures of his family and so on, and mentioned the support that he had when he was at Walter Reed and from his wife following the injuries that he had, severe injuries. But also mentioned the importance of reaching out and remembering those that have been wounded and the people that make the sacrifices that we get to enjoy just everything on a day-to-day basis and have so many of the freedoms here. And yet there's people that are on the front lines. And of course, that focuses it right back at what's going on over in Europe right now. That's all I had. We do not have any petitions or proclamations. So this would be our time for public comment. If there's anyone that would want to make a comment on something that wasn't on the agenda, if you'd notify us, and we could hear that now. So we do not have any questions or comments from the public at today's meeting, and so we'll go ahead and move on to our reports of the county officers. Brad.
Okay, first item is we did bid fuel, unleaded fuel earlier this week. This time Sapp Brothers, we were a low bid on that at $2.70 a gallon. Robinson came in at $2.80 and MKC was not able to bid. So Sapp Brothers got the bid. It looks like it was just on probably about in time for a pretty healthy increase, because I noticed at the pump here in town, things shot up pretty significantly yesterday. So we might have lucked out again. Monday morning, I got a call from Paul Freilich. He had got an alarm off the Talmadge lift station that said it was a high liquid alarm. And when he got up there, the pump had failed, and he was able to get there in time and get them manually started up to pull them down before anything backed up into the community, which is the whole idea. We do have remote alarms on Talmadge and on Detroit, and they, in this case, it paid for itself. Prior to putting those remote alarms on, the first call we would have gotten was from somebody having effluent in their basement. And so he's had those pumped out a couple of times after having service people come out to look at it this week. One of the pumps, the seals in the pumps have gone out. They're worn. Those were put in the late 70s. So I'd say we probably got our money's worth out of them. But Paul was arranging to have the company come out, send a crew out, replace the seals and get them up to speed. And those expenses come out of the Talmadge, out of the sewer district number 1. What? Yeah. I forget the numbers, but anyhow, the people in Talmadge pay for their own expenses for that. So that's not a county expense, but we kind of manage it for them. So if you get any questions, why, they can rest assured that the problem's being taken care of, and most of them probably either slept through it or didn't even know there was a problem. So it's time to renew our contract with SD Security for the year. So I've met with Steve Davis, and we will be renewing that for courthouse security services. I've been very pleased with that. I got a contact or an email the other day from the city manager at Harrington. They're again asking about annexing in some of the lake roads out there. I again told him my opinion was he should meet with the township board first and make sure they don't have any concerns. And then, of course, follow the guidance of their city attorney and on what they want to do. I didn't think we were going to have any problem with that as a county. But they have some decisions that they need to make that the residents out there are going to be asking on, whether they're just annexing in the right of way, or are they annexing in properties, parcels, because that'll affect the taxes that people pay if they are. And I said, obviously, if you don't have some meetings and keep people informed, you're going to create a whirlwind of negativity that will not soon slow down. So I think there are some tremendous benefits for them annexing in some parcels out there with police and fire protection, ISO ratings being lowered and things like that, but they need to figure that out and need to sell that to those people before they get into it. And he said he appreciated the insight, so we'll see when that comes back or how it plays out. Tomorrow afternoon, myself and several other key people are going to be participating in the interview of the first candidate for the new EDC director position. And we have one from out of state that's coming in tomorrow. And I think there's 6 or 7 of us on that committee that they've asked to do those interviews. So we'll be working on that with them. I had a meeting yesterday with the department heads and elected officials that are affected by the move of the courthouse and kind of planned our strategy for both phases of that moving. And as I told you before, we're planning on the 7th and 8th with district court and community corrections, court services, and the county attorney's office. And we'll have them move back in by the 9th in some fashion of normalcy. And then we'll wait 2 weeks and we'll come back with the rest of the county offices from the city civic center and start on the 22nd, the 23rd, and get everybody else moved back. And I've asked them all to give me an idea of what we want to do for a lunch or something for the staff when we get moved back in, because I think we owe them something to provide them a meal or something there. So we'll get something figured out. And then probably, late April, maybe 1st of May, we'll have a scheduled open house in that time frame. It may take us a little while to get some of the kinks worked out and get some of the things like the stairs patched up and different things that when we have the open house, I want it to be impressive. So we want to make sure we don't have anything left to do. And so it may take us another 30 days, even though we're open for business, to get some of that stuff taken care of. So then we have several items that you had declared as surplus that have been listed on Purple Wave. And so if you are looking for a vehicle, or if you want to buy a vault door to put in your house, or something like that, why go to Purple Wave and make a bid.
The stairways, we need to keep the spiral staircase and we need to keep one vault door. Is that correct for the tax abatement?
For the tax credit program?
Tax credit, yeah.
Not the vault doors,
Okay.
the other doors in the courthouse.
Oh, okay. I remember we were some of the stuff had to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we kept some of the windows. We kept a lot of them intact behind the,
Yeah. They're on the
but we do have all the doors. We discussed that the other day. They're in storage in the way, but we'll keep them for a while. And then, no, the spiral stairways got cut up and
Yeah.
we didn't have to keep them.
Oh, okay. I knew that there was some discussion about that, for the tax credit that we'd have to keep. And feeding onto that, when will we know we have those available to us or not?
When we get done, and I would say probably the May timeframe, then we'll send a letter to them and tell them that we're finished. And at that point, I don't know whether they'll want to come out and look at it or what, but we'll send them the information that they ask for. We've already got the letter that said the only thing they asked was this and this, and that they would be approved. So I think it's a matter of letting them know, and I don't know what the time frame is to.
Well, I'm like pictures that you've probably taken when they were doing it and stuff.
Yeah.
We did save them. I mean, like on one side, I know we sheetrocked in the windows.
Oh, I've got pictures of all that. Yeah, I've got hundreds and hundreds of pictures, and a lot of them are key to that purpose.
Yeah.
Because before we enclosed those windows and doors and things, we photographed to show that we were doing it that way.
And this is something I talked to you about, Brad. I don't know if you mentioned the other two commissioners about some kind of a deal we can have in the courthouse when it's done to show what it was like before.
I had not talked to anybody else, no, but what Craig's talking about is having we're going to have in the hallway, we're going to have our 2 displays of the jail door and the control. And he was talking about having a video monitor on the wall that just scrolls through and shows the project from start to finish, what it looked like before, and kind of an illustration, which I thought was a good idea. And so, yeah, I just ordered a couple more like TV monitors to go on the wall the other day for that purpose. So yeah, I mean, it's one thing I've got plenty of. I got a lot of pictures.
Well, and like I said, it's not, the people that go on now that, we do have the tour of it. Maybe if we could have it up by then.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
What it like, the progression of the construction and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then even down in the future, 30 years from now, what they did when they get ready to remodel again.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Time capsule.
Yep.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. Doug,
We have the tax sale set for March 8th, which is Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And so my suggestion is if somebody's trying to redeem their property, they need to do so by 4:30 on March 4th, because the courthouse will be closed on Monday and Tuesday. And of course, normally what would happen is the day before, you'd have up until 4:30 to redeem. And if you haven't done it by then, you can't redeem it on the day of the tax sale. The other thing is, on the selection committee for the filling the 8th judicial district for our county for the magistrate position, and that is on March 4th. And the interviews begin at 9 a.m. on March 4th. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Under notices and communications, we received a magazine from Ingram's, which is Kansas City based and talks about the power of teams and heroes in healthcare. Also earlier this morning in our work study session, Chancey Smith was here and gave us a little bit of update on some of the services, emergency services they provide, but also told us about some of the fires and response and the mutual agreements and how helpful they are, where we were able to assist Morris County, where they had quite a bit going on with a fire. And so, you know, just the training and preparation are helpful. Appreciate the work that he does and the reach that he has with surrounding counties. Are there any other notices or communications that anyone else has received? Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. We do not have any resolutions or unfinished business. Under other business, the first item we have is an MOU, City of Abilene, and this is in regards to the Northwest 14th Street corridor. And Brad, if you'd give us a summary of what that involves.
Yes, this is a memorandum of understanding between Dickinson County and City of Abilene. And in a nutshell, what it states is that we both have interest in that corridor economically and infrastructure wise, and that we are both committed to working on this grant together. That if we do receive the grant, that we will work together to complete the project as we've outlined, and that we're both committed. So the city commission has already approved it. I did put it together last week, and the city has approved it. So Mayor Marshall has signed it, and needs to be approved by the chairman, and then it is a requirement of the grant application to have something of that nature in it to be submitted. So
we would leverage funds on this that would pay for the majority of the project if we're successful on the grant, and then the city and county have equal shares for the remaining part.
yeah, we would have to come up with 25% minimum. We have agreed to, our committee has agreed to, we would go just a little more and do 30%, because that sometimes is much more appealing to the selection committee that will make the decision, that they can get more bang for their buck. And it basically means that the city and the county each would come up with 15% of that 30% or of the total project. We'd come up with half of it. So it would be very affordable for either one of us. If it was, you know, $10, $12 million, we could both afford to do that. And the return on our 15% would be tremendous. So it'd be well worth the ability or the putting that out. So
there's the economic development potential but also to leverage those funds, there's the public safety and safety of the roads.
yeah, and it as I explained in the work session, this encompasses not only some city roads, but the county road, county intersections and stuff. So we both have a pretty good sized dog in this fight. So it's not like we're putting 15% out that's going to benefit the city of Abilene only. It's going to benefit us tremendously as well. And Abilene's putting out their 15%. So it's going to benefit them as well. So we both have a dog in that fight. So.
And this also encompasses dealing some drainage issues and so.
It does.
We've been.
Haven't overlooked those. Yeah.
Are there questions or comments from the commission or a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second that motion.
The question I have is, I know we discussed it in the work session. I'm doing something else, Brad. What's kind of the time frame if everything works out right or if it doesn't work out right.
If it works out right, it's very quick.
Okay,
They, according to the documentation that they gave us, they will make a selection within 30 days of the deadline, which the deadline's next Monday. The time frame for the project right now is a 2-year. Has to be done by the end of 24.
and then I'm talking, will this be the total amount of work that's out there or just phrase that? Okay.
No, the total work right now would have to be done by, according to their documentation, as of today, by the end of 24. As we said in the work session, there's absolutely no way that's going to happen on anybody's project. So they're going to have to extend that deadline, I'm sure. But I'd much rather get into the mud with it and then figure out how we're going to clean it off.
Have it approved and then worry about getting it
Yeah.
later. And also the question, if we don't get it, I still think the county and the city need to work together to do something.
Absolutely.
You know, this would be great if the state would allow us to use their money in place of it, but I mean, we won't be able to do it as big a bites. So, okay.
Or we could reapply.
Absolutely.
Well, I think just a one-shot deal in this space.
I'm sorry.
This is a one shot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a,
yeah, once this money's gone, it's gone, so.
Well, and when I say reapply, it's just only if the funding comes available next year.
Or for other sources of funding, of course, yeah.
But yes, good point.
Because we also have our application we're putting in
Right.
for the off-road bridge on 14th. So we've got that going on our side simultaneous to this one, so.
So we had the motion and the second,
yes.
and so we'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. And I'll sign this on behalf of the county. The next item we have is to consider the agreement with Mark Guilfoyle. This is for defense services for drug court. Brad?
Janelle and Craig sit on that committee, so I'll let one of them kind of explain what Mark Guilfoyle will be doing for that if they want to.
Well, he's going to be the defense counsel for the
For the defendants.
defendants. And it's every Wednesday. They might change the dates. I missed one of them.
They're going to meet every Wednesday. They'll have a meeting between the prosecutor, the defense, the community corrections staff, the judge to evaluate the program and then move into the actual drug court every Wednesday and see the participants of the program. So, and the defense attorney, Mark, is going to be there to represent obviously the defendants to make sure that everything's legal on their side. So.
And I'm only worried about what we've seen over in Sling County when they did it. And I can't remember, they had the men come in first and the women come first, and they go through them real quickly and do an evaluation amongst themselves before they come into the courtroom.
Exactly. So, and this is just to help with them to become citizens again, productive citizens back instead of putting them in our jails. You know, it's a added bonus for them. So.
And I don't think they have any idea how many people are going to be involved. And what's 21 and above, isn't it? You know?
I think it is 21 above. I believe so. I don't think they'll go below that. So, and it's going to be probably a year program for them to participate. And there's different phases as they go through. There's sanctions and benefits. You know, they can advance if they complete some of the program. You know, and there's different things that they'll have to participate in as well. You know, AA or NA and that. So, and jobs and that. So.
And early on, Judge Sexton of the 8th Judicial District, but also locally here, participated in some of the formation and research and involvement on this. So
Judge Sexton was the one that really pushed it.
Right. And he will be presiding over drug court.
so
This
this,
is really his idea.
Right.
It's the first time thing for Dickinson County, so it'll be interesting to see how it works.
Mhm.
And this agreement specifies that Mr. Guilfoyle will get $200 a week for representing them, I guess, no matter how many clients there are.
okay. Any questions?
Yeah, and going back to that here too, I mean, when we were over in Sling County, it was just to make sure that the defendant was there being represented by an attorney. I mean, he has no other contact with them besides when they're in that situation that is done appropriately.
This is really between the judge and the defendant a lot of times. I mean, see how they're going through the program when they go to court. After, you know, other than that, then it's back to probation, their community correction staff.
If they fail the program, they go back to the regular attorney representing them. I assume.
He's just representing in drug court.
That's it.
Well, and so often people think of the punishment part of an offense, yet, the thing is, we want to be able to restore people and get them back on track
Mhm.
as long as they're willing to follow the rules.
Right.
And it's helpful for society in general. And I look forward to hearing some success stories.
Yeah, interrupt here again, I didn't mean to. The biggest thing is I see the challenge is getting the people that are out of the situation they're in, getting them out of the house they're in or into a different environment. Saline County has some housing available for them so they can get out of that continuing.
Break the cycle or
Yeah.
whatever, your treadmill is good.
That's going to be the challenge in Dixon County or Abilene. Get them out of that cycle of getting with the same people they were dealing with before.
So entertain a motion to enter this agreement with Mark Guilfoyle for defense services for drug court. Is there a motion and a second?
Make that motion.
Second.
For the motion and the second for this agreement, any other discussion or question? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. I don't believe we have anything else to consider. Are there any other comments or information to be brought forward? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and move that we adjourn.
Second.
We have the motion and second to adjourn. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.